Okay, here's the deal. You're trying to make latte art, but the milk isn't quite right? Well, that's not a problem anymore. Today I'm going to share with you a technique that I use to train all of the baristas that I come across, Monson Academy in Stratford-upon-Avon, and I'll take you exactly step by step through how we do it. Before we go any further, make sure you click that subscribe button and also the bell to make sure you get notified first when I upload a new video. There are many different techniques that baristas use to steam the milk. The one I'm sharing with you today is the one that I personally use to train everyone in the academy. Unfortunately, it works every time, so then we can progress onto fun stuff like latte art. There are a few things to remember whenever you steam any milk, so whether it's cow's milk or alternative like oat, soya, almond, there are a few simple rules that you want to stick to. One of the most important ones, never reheat the milk. Make sure your milk is cold. The colder the milk, the better it steams. Volumize it before it gets warm. By volumize, I mean get all the air before the milk even gets warm. Then the swirl will help to texturize your milk, and you're not gonna get those massive bubbles. So once again, 1, never reheat the milk. 2, always make sure your milk is cold. 3, volumize the milk before it gets warm. And 4, always use pinky and your ring finger to read the temperature. And the reason for that is, as we're growing older, you tend to grab hot stuff and end up doing so these 3 very often get nerves paralyzed, where these are still quite sensitive. Do not use your palm, because for some people it might be more or less sensitive, but it simply is going to start hurting you a lot quicker, so it's not going to be very accurate reading. So always use your pinky and ring finger. And once they get uncomfortable to hold, I repeat, uncomfortable to hold, not hot, not unbearably hot, uncomfortable to hold, this is when you switch off the milk completely. Don't wait 3-4 seconds. Once these tell you it's hot enough, it is hot enough. It's hot for my fingers, it's hot for the mouth. Normally the reading you will get is about 65 degrees. And yes, even if you think you've got carpenter's hands, it's still gonna work. Trust me on this one, I've done it more than once. So the first thing you want to do is purge. Always make sure you get rid of anything that might be sitting in the steamer, whether it's water or whether it's old milk. So make sure you purge your steamer before you start steaming your milk. Pull out the steam arm to give yourself enough space. It's not the arm that you will be adjusting. You might end up doing small tweaks, but mainly it is the jug that you will be moving. So make sure you give yourself some space to move it up and down. I always suggest to go deep down into the milk, because it's a lot easier to pull it down, get some air, rather than trying to find the right position to put the steamer in. So go deep inside, fully open the steamer, and slowly start lowering your jug down, but also do it straight after you open the steamer, because remember, you want to get all the air into the milk before the milk even gets warm. Slowly start lowering your jug, and once you hear the hisses, that means the air is getting inside. What are you looking at when it comes to latte milk is to increase the milk's volume by 1/3. For cappuccino, that would be half, so simply inject more air. Once the volume increases by 1/3, and remember you want to do it before the milk gets even warm, submerge the steamer back into the milk and let it spin. When I say let it spin, as far as the surface is moving, that means the milk underneath is texturing. So do not worry about having that perfect wheel in the middle of the jug. All you want to see is the surface moving. If the surface moving, the rest is steaming, so don't worry about that. If your milk is getting a lot of tiny bubbles, this simply means that you've gone past that point when the sugars caramelize and you still injected the air. So the milk actually didn't have time to embed everything into the texture. Switch the milk off as soon as pinky and ring finger are uncomfortable to hold the jug. Once you do that, bang your jug slightly, obviously don't spill everything, on the table. Leave it on the side for a couple of seconds, and this is your chance to clean the steamer. Make sure you clean the steamer straight away and you purge it, because the last thing you want to do is leave the steamer filthy so the bacteria can grow on the steamers. This is probably one of the worst things that I can't even look at when I go to places, so please don't do that. Just clean it. It takes seconds. But clean it well, don't just smudge it. As soon as you finish, leave the jug on the table to set for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, doesn't matter. Proteins in the milk will travel down because they are heavier molecules, and sugars will go up. So this is when you're gonna start spinning milk. It gets really nice and shiny because there's caramelized sugars on top. Once your milk sets, before you start pouring latte art, make sure you swirl the milk, because what you're gonna notice is that there's a lump of foam in the middle and the milk everywhere around it. So you want to incorporate it again. It's almost like a well-kneaded dough. You want to have one even texture to pour any latte art. Otherwise, you're going to end up with milk pouring and then blob. And you definitely don't want that. So in few simple steps, fully insert the steamer into your milk. Open the steamer, slide down, get some air before the milk gets hot. Then submerge it back, let it spin, switch it off when it gets too hot for these to hold, and you're done. I promise you, whatever milk you're going to use, if you follow this technique, your milk will be on the spot every single time. Let me know in the comments down below if you found it useful. Like it, dislike it, share it, give me some feedback, because really you are the reason I'm doing it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell to be the first one to know when I upload a new video, so you can learn a little bit more. If you want to see more regular updates, follow Life Full of Beans on Instagram. And also, if you will be pouring anything or steaming, let me know, tag me on your post so I can see how you're doing and give you some feedback. Let's work on it together. That's all for now. See you next time.